Today we're going to add color to a charcoal drawing using soft pastel sticks and pastel pencils. Stick around, it's going to be fun. I haven't really done a video on how I add color to a piece, so I thought I'd go ahead and I've just this piece really wanted color, and so I'm going to do it, and and I'm going to leave him pretty much alone. I can't see myself adding color to him right now because he's pretty much done. But really, what I'm going to do is add color to his background, and I'm going to use two different things. And my wife would kill me if she sees me doing this, so sooner or later she will. But there's these beautiful pastels that she has, and I just love these colors, so I kind of borrowed them, and I'm gonna take them and use them. And then I have my pastel pencils that I'm gonna use, and so they're pretty much the same. They're really close to the same color structure. This one's a little more on the blue side than this one is here, but that's okay. And so all I'm going to do, these are so soft and just so luscious. They're just beautiful. That's why I'm saying she would kill me if she seen me using these too much. So I'm going to have to keep them lightly. And you'll see I am doing it just nice and light. I'm not scrubbing it into the fibers of the paper. I'm just keeping it light because you can see it'll just eat away at your pastel. And I'm not even worried about getting too gosh awful close. I'm going to get kind of close to the edge of the drawing, but I'm not shooting to get right in there, because you're going to see here in just a moment. I'm going to jump right in here too. Then I come in with a brush and just start working the color into it. And at that point, once my brush gets loaded, I can get to where I want to get as far as the outline goes. And I will use the pencils to really get in there. You can hear it scrubbing. And I'm not too concerned if I go over a little bit. So just blow it right off. Better close that window. Wind is blowing. That's making my And here's that pencil. In fact, I think I'm going to use the lighter one on the inside. And these aren't colored pencils, these are pastel pencils. And anything I do to disrupt the pencil line, I'm going to come back and clean the edges up just a hair bit. Sorry if I'm a little quiet. I'm just kind of adding color is such a it's really enjoy. I don't do it often, but I really do enjoy it when I do it. But it does slow me down to think about what I want to do or how I want it to look. It also makes me think about how do you sharpen these things? And that's probably one of the hardest things I do. And you can use blades, you can use all sorts of tools. You know, I do a lot of sandpaper. These guys here, I just have a trash can, and actually I don't even need a trash can because theoretically if I do it over the paper, I'll be able to use that. Use the shavings. And I don't know, just kind of pushing some color in. This has definitely got me going. Okay, I want to just kind of go for it. The thing about these pastels is they can be, these types of pastels that you see me using here that are my wife's, they are not the cheapest things in the world. So you really, for me, I really am, as cautious using them, or try not to overuse them, just out of respect. But also, I don't feel like you need to. I think the problem you'll see with this is once I get started doing this kind of stuff, I don't like all these lines, and so I end up having to go back in and layer color over it because I can't stand those lines. I like to have this really nice gradient, so I'll end up coming back in and this starts the rabbit hole. Because once you're there, once you're going, you're committed. And so I don't, like I said, I don't like all the line work that a lot of times will happen when you do your first layer. And so I'll come back in with a harder pastel, which is these pencils here. But you can see that's, you know, that's kind of going away, but it's not, because it's going to have so many more layers. So you see that how it's starting to have this soft colors to it. A soft feel to it, I guess, not a soft color, but a soft feel to the color. And that's when I really, really like it. Sorry, I'm so quiet here. You know, if my wife was here, I'd be asking her, so what colors do you think I should mix in with these? Because she's so good with colors. I know I talk a lot about my wife, but, you know, she really is. She's what they call a master pastelist, and she is extremely good at layering colors and how to layer colors. And so I do tend to, if I'm working with color, because obviously I do paint oils, but you know my main thing is charcoals. I love charcoals, so I tend to roll that direction. And I'll need somebody to bounce ideas off of. You know, I'm just scrubbing in the color, trying to get it into the fibers of the paper in as uniform a way as I can. So see, I do a lot of circles. And that's to try to help get rid of the straight lines that are inherent when you're just coloring it in yourself. And I tend to use crazier colors on my backgrounds. I'm not looking for a realistic kind of thing. I want a color that just kind of sings. It just kind of shows up, and it's just like, what the heck is that color doing there? Laid in pretty nicely for a first layer. I just sharpened it. If you wondered what I was doing and what that sound was, I was just sharpening up the stick a little bit. And like I said, I'm not too worried about smudging the lines just a little bit on the drawing. I'm going to go back in and finish that up. I'm just going to mix it in with the charcoal that's sitting there. Because I have not fixed or done anything to this charcoal. It is as it is as I'm drawing on it. I've done nothing to fix it or make it so it doesn't interact with the charcoal pencils. And it's kind of cool because sometimes you can, if you really want to, you can do some, when you're working with the charcoal like this, or the pastel pencils, I'm sorry, you can get them to smear a little bit. So if you're looking for a lost edge or a smeared edge, you can get it. I don't want to do a huge long video here. I will put the finished piece here at the end when we're done, just so you can see. But obviously there's a lot of work to do on this, and I'm not much for time lapse. I do it every once in a great while, but I'm not going to do it on this piece. I wanted to give a real time accounting of how it works. You can see there's this line of color here that I'm going to work on getting rid of. I'm going to overlay this color over it. This kind of lighter green. Sorry, my hand keeps going in front of the screen. You know, you see people do this all the time in Photoshop, and you know, and I could easily take this into Photoshop and put the color on it. And I know a lot of artists that do that, a lot of graphite artists that do that, and it is easier. Obviously, it's a lot easier, and you can change it and do all sorts of fun things with it. But you know, I worked in Photoshop for so long that I just don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to use Photoshop for my work. I want to have an original. I want to have a one-of-a-kind. So when somebody purchases a piece from me, they're getting a one-of-a-kind. They're not getting something that can be reprinted and taken down. Even though I could, if I wanted to, I could take, you know, high-resolution scans of this and create prints out of it. But I don't do that. I sell the original, and the original is what you get. And it'll be one-of-a-kind, only one-of-a-kind, and there'll never be another one like that one. And I love that. You know, I keep a record for myself, and occasionally, you know, somebody might see something pop up in a book, but you're not going to see. There's not going to be another original like that one. Look how nice this transition of color is taking place now. You can start getting a feeling of what I'm talking about. As far as the layering of colors and the look at that, blow that off. Look at that nice transition that's happening here. And so you can see I'm going to end up doing that down here. And I'll actually take a darker color, and I'm going to put a darker color here. And I'll probably put a slightly lighter color here. Or actually I might even surround him with a lighter color to make him kind of look like maybe he's glowing a little bit. But this gives you a really good idea of how I go about getting color on my pieces. So I'm using soft pastel pencils, and I'm making a mess, and it's a lot of fun. So thanks for watching, and take a look at some of the other videos. See if there's anything you like. If you'd like to see me do a full process one where I take one to the final and I do a time lapse or something like that, let me know. But I love this, you know, and I'm looking at this, and I left this blank because there's something about the shape. It almost looks like he's flying out of this. I might do something with this, maybe with a darker color into this, use more charcoal, maybe a darker color here, and go, you know, it's fun. And then you can see the kind of glow that's kind of happening. And so I'll probably get a lighter pastel pencil and do that. And then, like I said, I'll come back in with the charcoal pencils just to kind of clean up some of the lines. But I'm going to leave a lot of the loose, blurry stuff and probably create more of that right here. So anyhow, once again, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And tell your friends. Take care. Bye-bye.